In this tutorial, we're going to learn about properties of classes. And we are going to create a public property. A public property is a property that any other class can read. There is another one which is called a private property, which only the class itself can read. So to do this, I have already created some subclasses of actors here. There's a star and there's a galaxy, and we're gonna set a property for a galaxy here. So what we do is we double click on the galaxy to open up its editor, to open the editor of the class itself. And once we've done that, right here in the portion under where we define the class, the lines for defining the class, which is this, right, between these two curly brackets, we are going to put a property right here, right, in the yellow part. So you see this one, we don't want to put it in here because this is a method called act, and we want to define a property outside of that that's accessible to the class as a whole. So what we need to do is we need to first say whether it's private or public, and in this case we're going to say public, which again means that anybody can access it. Once we've done that, we need a keyword for defining what type of property it is. In this case, we're going to use the keyword int, which stands for integer, which means it's a number. And the integer, after the integer keyword, we need to choose an identifier by which we can reference the property. We're going to call this property speed because it's going to be the speed at which our galaxy is going to rotate. And once we've done that, we are going to set an initial value of 10 for this. Right? That means that every time that I instantiate a new object from the class, the speed is going to be 10. Once I've done that in my act method, which gets called automatically by Greenfoot over and over again at a certain rate, at a certain intervals, I am going to turn my galaxy exactly by the amount that is defined in the property speed, right? And in this case it's of course 10. So I'm going to turn it, but instead of writing 10 semicolon at the end, of course, end of line, instead of writing 10, I'm going to replace this 10 by the speed itself. So I'm going to write this dot speed. This simply means referring to the object itself, i.e. the class itself. So turn this dot speed. Now of course this dot speed gets replaced by the actual value of 10 when I call turn. So let's add this here too, this dot turn. It's always good to just remind yourself that you're calling a method of the class itself. So this dot turn, this dot speed, and it's going to be it should be rotating at 10 if we wrote everything correctly in the code. So let's compile that, and let's close it down, and then let's compile the whole thing. And here's our galaxy, and now we're going to run it, and we're going to drop a new instance by right clicking on galaxy, and you can do that by holding down the control key on your keyboard. As you click galaxy, you'll see this new galaxy, which is the way of instantiating a new object from the class. So once I do that, I can drop it on there, and as you can see, it's already rotating when I do it. So let's pause that, and let's go back into galaxy, and let's change the speed to 100, and of course the galaxy should now be rotating at a much higher speed. So let's compile that, let's go back, and let's compile the thing again. So So we need to run it, and we need to right click on Galaxy, create a new instance, and drop it down, and you see it's rotating very fast now. So that's how to create a property. So now try it yourself.